Welcome to Subramani. I have been doing a series of lectures for two mutual funds where I talk a lot about the retirement of MFDs or IFAs. I think if we do an analysis of the AUM age-wise, which means the age of the IFA holding the AUM, there is a huge amount of AUM held by IFAs above the age of 55 or 60. And I'm not even saying that they have to retire, but they have to do one thing. One is they have to make a will, that is for their personal assets, etc. And second, they have to do succession planning for their business. So first of all, the myth that succession planning and making a will are the same. No, banish the thought. The succession planning is for your business, how your business should be run after you are dead. Not that you are worried too much about what happens after your death, but if you have a successful business and you want it to continue and you don't want your customers to suffer and you want it to have a cash flow stream to help your family, especially if the amount is substantial. Suppose your trail income is say 1 crore. Why would you want to give that up completely just because you're dead? Or why would you want your family to give that up? Let us understand one thing. When Mr. G.D. Birla put up a factory in UP for making aluminium, he knew he would make profits the minute he generated electricity, right? It was as simple as that, because he could generate his own electricity at a fraction of the cost at which the UP government could have given him. That apart. Did he think that, oh, anyway, I'm going to die, let me put up a small plant? He didn't. So he knew two things. He knew that he would die and the business would be permanent. If you are an IFA or an MFD, please understand how you want to treat your business. Is your business permanent? Because you are temporary. Everybody knows. I know I'm going to die. So my Subramani.com is temporary. It will die the day I die. I am not going to do succession planning or anything. But if you want to do your business, if you want your business to continue and you don't want your fee paying clients to suffer, you need to do succession planning, which is very different from making a will. Succession planning is being able to put together a team which will work when you are not there. So it is easy to say, my wife is an ARN holder, so I will give it to her, or my husband is a ARN holder. There are many women ARN holders, many men ARN holders who will say, oh, we will do this. Giving it to the family member does not mean that it is going to be run. So understand one thing. One is who needs to be the new owner and who needs to be the new manager. Both have to be planned. If you are a 65-year-old IFA and your wife is 63, what great succession planning happens when you say, oh, everything is, I will transfer everything to my wife. She could predecease, or she could die 2 weeks after you die, or maybe 2 months after you die, or even 2 years after you die. How is it helping the clients? So you have to take a call whether you want to help the clients or you just want to ensure that your family gets the trail income. Again, two completely different things. If you want to do proper succession planning, then it is important that you sit down with your team and realize what is going to happen. Then maybe talk to a couple of clients and say, if I drop dead today, will you take the business away? They themselves have no clue, right? So then you plan your succession, you plan a CEO, right? You do all that and you bring it to a level that you are very happy with the succession plan. At that stage, you then go and say, how should the ownership be? If you think that the succession plan is good and it will work very well after you die, great. But will your family be together? I don't know. Like suppose all your other assets put together is worth say 50 lakhs and you have a trail income which is worth 1 crore. Just imagine what, or okay, even if it is worth say 3-4 crores, your all your other assets are 3-4 crores and your trail income is 1 crore. Just imagine what will happen. The person who gets the trail income, especially if it's a successfully run business, will suddenly be getting much more than what the others are getting. So do you want to make it equal? So First is the succession planning. You need to do succession planning, which is very different from ownership transfer or making a will. It's not just like making a will and say my trail income I'm giving it to my son or daughter. It's not so simple. You have to ensure that trail income happens. This you can ensure by selling your whole current AUM to a bigger company, like some people have done, and get a fixed fee, right? Or get a percentage, yes. And that company keeps, say, 30% or 40% and gives you 60% or 65%, whatever, however you negotiate. In such a case, you are ensuring that the clients will be taken care of, because there's a bigger organization. You will also talk to the clients, they will also employ people who will talk to the clients, and therefore the change of or rather the succession planning of the business, that seems to be a better idea, because you have no clue as to who will be recruited, who will be running it after your death. Whereas your family may not want to run the business. If you are a successful man, will your children want to come and earn this small amount of money that you are earning? Because they don't know how long trail will happen, whether they can get new clients, because this trail looks very good when you are alive and about, say, 200 crores is lying in your AUM kitty. But if you die, it could just whittle down to 20 crores. Then the trail income is no longer attractive, right? So understand that you have to make your will, which is your life planning, what happens to your house and car and etc., that goes into your will. And succession planning, which how your business should be run after you drop dead. These are two completely different things. For the second, you will need help, you will need to restructure, you will have to talk to your employees and find out what they will do if you die, right? So look for all those things, and then you take a decision based on what is right. Please also understand that the family run businesses contribute about 90% to India's GDP. That's not small. So every small business needs to do some kind of succession planning, and I'm at least addressing the MFD or stroke IFA. You need to do both the planning separately and then combine. Maybe if your trail income is 5 lakhs, you don't even care what happens to that, saying the cost of doing all this is very high. That's your call. But if your trail income is high, if you want to grow your business, and the most important thing, you don't want your clients to suffer, because if you drop dead, they will not know what to do, where to go next, especially if you've been in this business for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, right? So also, you don't think that you have to put all of that into a company and give it to your children equally. Children who work in this field will have to be paid more. So if your son is interested in this, give it to your son. If your daughter-in-law is, if your daughter is interested in this, give it to her. If your daughter-in-law is participating with you and she wants to learn this, teach her and give it to her. So don't have to do a great democracy of saying, oh, so much of income is there, so I need to distribute it equally. Does not happen that way. The person who is inheriting should get at least 60% or 70% of the profits. Otherwise, that person is not going to, sorry, when I mean inheriting, I mean inheriting the business. If he does not, or if she does not earn that kind of money, they will not be interested in doing it. They'll go and start off on their own, saying this is too expensive, right? So family wealth distribution is different. What you have as wealth, which you have earned and appreciated, say your equity portfolio, you can share that equally. But if somebody in your house is running a business, that person has to be paid very differently. Maybe you can pay a salary or whatever, but that person has to be compensated for the time given, right? Children will not necessarily take over the business and run it successfully. They may not be interested, especially if they are children of rich people, right? They may not be interested in coming into it at the age of 22 or 23. They may want to come in at 28, right? Who is going to handle that interim period, right? All those things you have to think before you give away. And if your children are bored and you think they will not want to run it, you might as well sell it now and encash the money, right? I think I've covered everything. Thank you.